Lost at Home podcast. Here are your hosts, Scott Bear and Jeremiah Johnson.
Welcome to the Lost at Home podcast. My name is Scott.
And I'm Jeremiah.
And we are back for episode 397.
Scott,
we are
we're
so
close.
fucking
We're
close.
getting so
We are
close to an
edging.
arbitrary-
These are the edging episodes.
Arbitrary milestone of 400. We're gonna do something special for you all. We were just talking about some of our stuff today. Now, You're a couple weeks out from taking a nice little vacation. Now, actually, I think by the time people
10
hear
days.
this, it's actually gonna be
now
about when you're taking vacation, because we've got a couple of these in the chamber.
And there's no
ready.
reason to say the exact dates. I don't want my house robbed.
Nope, exactly.
Guess what, ladies and gentlemen?
I
will
will
be
be
home from this day at this time.
Yeah, and my friend Jeremiah is coming over on these days to take care of things, but the rest of the time it's wide open. Have fun. But yeah, we've got and you shared the code with me too, which is. Oh shit! Okay, I'm glad I beeped that out. I'm glad my beeping sounds like me saying beep too. But yeah, we're having fun. We've got some good ideas. We've got some little bits and pieces ready to go for episode 400.
I've written
fleshing it
two
out.
skits. We had some talks today about maybe some guests who might pop in.
Yep.
And say hi.
I did talk to Bruce. He's down for an AMA.
Perfect.
So he's going to do probably a little 10-minute AMA.
In addition to his cuisine skit, or is that his cuisine talk?
No. So I told him I was like, hey man, we actually want to know, one, what you've been up to, and two, we want to know about the Australian cuisine. And he's like, hey, why don't we just do a whole AMA about it? I'll start with those, because those are ones that real users, listeners have submitted. Wink, wink. And people want to know. What have you been up to?
If you want to submit questions to Bruce Moran,
you should actually.
Long-time guest, long-time co-host, long-time friend of the show. Just hit us up on social media. You can find us on TikTok.
AMA.
No, you can find us on what? Twitter?
X.
Lost at Home at the Lost at Home. Yeah, I had to think about that because we had a fight back in the day about Lost at Home.
Yeah,
someone else owns that.
We were
at the Lost
and we were
at
actually
Home.
wondering if because
it
was a dormant account, and and one of Elon's been like, yeah, fuck
I could probably get that back.
We might be able to get it back,
Well, you can also find us on Instagram, Facebook. Just search for the name of the podcast, and feel free to drop us a note on any one of those.
If you want to know anything about what
questions for Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce has been up to, or anything about Australian culture, Australian cuisine.
We will shout you out on the show too with your question.
Yeah, absolutely. So Bruce is ready to go. We got him in the chamber.
Let's remember to bring that up next week too.
Okay.
We have 3 episodes. 97, 98, 99. We have 3
episodes. This is one
one
of the third. Yeah. 3.
So we'll shout that out for each one. We'll just make sure to look for our socials. They're not hard to find. You know the name of the show. Just type them into your favorite social media app. We're not on TikTok.
Yeah, which is crazy. You love TikTok, but we're not.
I have a personal account I don't even show my face on. I use it weirdly. Like, I'm more of a voyeur.
Yeah. Oh, like really weirdly.
Yeah.
I use it creepily.
I use it like a creeper.
Yeah. Is there an age setting so I can only see people under 14?
If we did more things that were video worthy, I'd probably start an account. Because you can swap between 2 accounts.
That's the thing. I kind of forget that it's not just a social media app like typing stuff in. Like you
you got to produce video that's content worthy.
At least like one video a week, a couple of
we would need like another
best.
person in the studio to grab like just the right live moments where we're crying, laughing over some stupid shit we said.
Yeah, and then
we don't have that. We don't have that.
And then
we don't have friends.
And then just have that AI voice be like, POV, you're recording with your best friend, and then I know how TikTok video works.
Yeah,
that's right. I see whatever you show me. That's how I know my TikTok. But yeah, so we're having a good time. We're ready to go, Scott. We're ready to roll into episode 397. Just like usual, you get lost in thought often. I get lost in thought. I usually turn mine into like
so
little
lost
notes.
in thought on this.
I realized when I was reading my notes to you the other day, I'm like, I get lost in thought all the time. I just turn them into notes on my phone. I should start taking those notes and bringing them into the action, because that's exactly what you're talking about. Like you just you have a little good night, have a couple beers or whatever like that, and you're just like, you know what, this is a weird thing to tell my wife. Especially me. I don't even have a wife. For me to tell my wife something, it's really weird. I gotta find a wife. I gotta buy a wife. I gotta kidnap a wife. I've gotta traffic a wife. And suddenly I'm like, oh, he's a bad guy because he traffics people. Boo, fucking
good old BGT, buy, get traffic.
You know it. All right, but yeah, so you get lost in thought, and now you said this is a doozy.
Yeah. All right. So work with me here on this one. Werehouse.
WERE Werehouse.
You're out late at night in the Werehouse district of New York City.
W-A-R-E.
You cut your arm on a warehouse rusty door going into graffiti. Next full moon, you turn into a warehouse.
So it's okay. I'm gonna be honest. This is different than I thought. I was thinking this would be like a good like frat boy movie with a bunch of werewolves.
No,
which by the way is also awesome.
Problems.
Let's have that as a whole separate thing we can talk about. I see now why this is gonna take half the show.
Oh yeah,
because we're gonna talk about your thing first.
All right, so I'm a big fan of the show with Josh Gad and Isla Fisher on Max. I think it's on Max. Wolf Like Me. It's one of the best werewolf shows / things.
I was not aware it existed.
2 seasons.
And I love Josh Gad. I love Isla Fisher even more.
First season is the best werewolf thing I've ever seen in my life. Period. There's nothing that competes.
Okay. Yeah.
You'd have to see it to agree or disagree.
Yeah.
It is.
I do like the sell. I do like the sell.
I'm not a huge werewolf fan. When it comes to horror, I like my zombies, even though they're getting played out.
Yeah.
I love my haunted houses if they're done well.
Can I admit something to you right now?
Yeah.
Like, so
werewolves are slow hanging meat for me.
Aspirationally, I like werewolves more than anything else.
Ooh,
but as far as actual in practice, and I think one of the reasons I like them more than anything else is like they're almost never done. Period. Let alone versus like vampires and zombies and the big movies, or the big monsters, and
they never do get AAA tier title movies.
And the number of those that then are done well.
Wolf. 20 years ago,
they're like Wolf. No, and believe me, I know. Like I can give a good long list of like the good ones that have come out.
There's Werewolf Inside with I always forget his name.
Well, there was
the Tim Robinson black dude who's always working with.
Oh
him.
No, that's not. But it's Werewolves Within. Yeah,
Werewolves Within, which we learned was based on a video game after we saw it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it takes place in Vermont. It was shot in New York, but it's got Sam Richardson, and it's got Richardson. Yeah, it's got the AT&T girl.
I consider that a good werewolf thing.
Yeah, no, that was a fun one. So I've got a whole long list of those because aspirationally, I want better werewolf stuff because
that's where Wolf Like Me comes in.
Yes,
that show.
So I'm glad to hear
gold.
that. Now, like, will it beat the original Wolfman or the Howling or something? Then now there's the new there's the new from the Universal movie from the same guy that did. Invisible Man is doing a Wolfman movie.
Good.
Which is probably going to be kind of art housey.
Glad it's not the Tom Cruise mummy movie people.
No.
God, that was a fucking train wreck.
This is they're sticking with the Universal
they tried marveling Universal movie monsters and failed.
I will say
they tried marveling it.
No, but I will say the actual Marvel werewolf movie was fucking amazing.
Oh yeah. Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, that one is
top tier. I've seen it twice in black and white and once in color.
I haven't seen it in color, but like the black and white version.
Black and white's way better.
Yeah, because it's got the whole Universal.
Yeah, the color.
Yeah. It's supposed to be like it's supposed to make you feel like you're watching 1940s.
Yeah, the color thing made Man Thing look kind of cool.
Yes.
Because you get to see the green.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Yeah,
and the red of his eyes.
Like if you have to watch it once, watch it in black and white. Yes. I do still want to watch it at some point. I just don't have access. to Disney Plus
isn't
anymore.
The same.
Yeah,
black and white. Wow. Yeah, Werewolf by Night.
Because it feels like a 1940s. It feels like a 1940s Universal movie.
Yeah.
So that is top tier, absolutely top tier. And I'm not a like
that
a
Disney man.
I'm not a Disney man. I'm not a Marvel man. That is absolute top tier Marvel. That's top tier werewolf. Absolutely.
Yeah. And highly recommend. So once again, Werewolf by Me, first season, top tier. Second season loses a little bit of its luster, but isn't bad as just a watch. And they're short seasons, like 8 episodes a season.
I was not aware it even existed.
Half hour each. Might be getting a third season, not sure. But first season, when it ends, I didn't care the second time I saw it through, because I've already seen the first season twice. I didn't care that it needed more seasons. It's such a perfect story.
So
it's also Australian.
Oh, yes. I love the Australian.
It's an Australian story.
So hey, maybe we should ask guys. I wonder if Bruce had Bruce has been in the scene over there a little bit.
Yeah, maybe we can ask him about it.
Yeah.
So Werehouse. I want this to be a thing. Like, think about this. If your loved one is going to turn to a werewolf every month, you maybe lock them in a room, right? So they can be a werewolf for the night.
What do you do with a warehouse?
And you just What if you're in a
I guess-
suburban setting and you become a building bigger than your building you live in?
Just
like it just blows the roof off and everything.
Yeah, and then you wake up
just
and
suddenly you're in suburbia. There's a warehouse.
And
Kids could be walking down the street on Halloween being like, remember the Joneses over there? They give the big candy bars.
Yeah.
And they turn the corner and the Joneses' house isn't there. There's just
It's
this
just a
old
giant-
dilapidated warehouse.
Yeah.
And they're like, what's that? And like wander in, and one of the kids scratches his arm on the
becomes
door.
a
'Cause
warehouse
that's how you
himself.
get bit. Warehouses are full of rusty metal and sharp edges.
Yeah.
like you just gotta nick yourself on the warehouse, and then suddenly like the Parkinson's kids down the street. I'm bad at naming people.
Yeah, you shouldn't name anybody Parkinson's.
Parkinson's down the street.
You know, the only
Their relationship with us is shaky at best. But like suddenly their house like bursts every full moon. Yours does too, and suddenly there's two warehouses in this neighborhood. And like the story could be like a suburban neighborhood.
And then the whole fucking house is demolished the next day. Like, so the guy wakes up like normally, like
the house is just trash.
They're blacked out. They're like, "What did I do last night?" And they're like, the whole house is just black. Like,
but I'm thinking like
apart.
it spreads fast enough where it's like a end of the world type scenario where an entire suburban neighborhood.
Oh, and they even have that scene where they're looking at, like, the scientists are looking at the map, like, this is 24 hours from now. And they're like, bloop, bloop, bloop.
Yeah.
This is 48 hours. And in 72 hours, the whole world is taken over by warehouses.
But the big map they bring up has Zillow at the top.
Yeah.
They're using Zillow.
Yeah, and there's like literally a real estate agent be like, and this one's really spacious. You'll see here, we've got an extra 30,000 square feet.
Oh, yeah. And actually...
they try to sell them on...
Someone could try to sell someone in a sequel, like, say, part 3... Someone tries to sell someone a warehouse.
Like you're already at part 3.
That is the warehouse,
yes.
right? So they buy it, and then it just turns into a dude.
I don't think slavery is legal.
All these trucks pull up with like lumber and siding and windows.
Hey guys,
and there's just this naked man sleeping in a dirt lot.
Need about 28 days before you go in.
We're gonna put new windows in. You're not putting windows in me, buddy.
Yeah, not for another 28 days.
Also, what would happen to someone if they were a warehouse?
Yeah.
And someone started working on them?
And you wake up and
you have like a sliding window in your arm.
Because that stuff wasn't part of your wear.
Yeah,
so
now it is.
And now there's just a giant sliding glass
door.
door.
Painted you or graffitied you, and you wake up and you have graffiti across
across your face. We look, oh yeah, man, fucking rough night.
I'm just saying, there's a universe that can be created if you just get bitten by a.
And I'm going to be honest,
cursed warehouse.
I think now we've got two ideas out of this, because the other idea I assumed this was like Frat House but Warehouse. I would also love to see that movie where it's called Warehouse, which is a werewolf
frat
house, which is crazy, really rapey. So, even more rapey.
Well,
than
they
usual.
also eat them.
Yeah,
it's not just rape; it's murder rape.
Oh, it's rape and murder. Yeah, it's the best kind.
Well, it's rape dinner.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You know, they call it. Yeah. But the other thing is funny because earlier I almost
don't DoorDash this frat house. It DoorDashes you.
Sure.
Yeah. It's the tagline. The bottom.
Yeah.
You don't DoorDash this warehouse.
Yeah.
It DoorDashes you.
I also having the stumbles in the tagline, like ... comma. Wait, hold on. I got it backwards.
The tagline
on the poster. Like, wait, hold on. I got this.
Shut up, Rick! Shut up!
Let me do my
this.
It's the where. Fuck.
The frat house where like the girls go, they party, like they love it and all that,
Yeah.
and then that one night of the month,
Yeah.
they go to the same party they
No,
normally
the
would.
only
all
day
the guys
once
just
a month,
wolf.
once a month, there's a big party at the frat house, and like most of
that's
the
the
people
point of
don't.
it?
Yeah, it's like they don't show up. They're like, why doesn't anybody ever come back from that frat house? I don't know, but they throw the best fucking parties, and the dudes are fine all night, and then suddenly, and then that's great because you get a bunch of final girls just fucking like just try to fucking fight for their lives.
I love both ideas.
I know that's what I love about this.
I want a 1980s campy frat house horror movie where everyone turns into werewolves.
Oh yeah,
Warehouse.
And like Better Off Dead style.
And then another one where literally
Animal House style, or whatever.
Then another one that's like World War Z, where the world is ending.
Yes.
And the politicians like
because of warehouses.
NORAD has the login to Zillow.
you have the launch codes, the Zillow login. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, but the other thing about this is, which is funny, because earlier I almost mentioned to you a while ago. Actually, we had a leap day this year. People who are listening in 2024 know we had a leap day. And
temporally, your sentences just now jumped all over the place.
Yes. So
a while ago, a few weeks ago, leap day. All right, we're zeroing in. We're zeroing in.
In 2024, we had
in 2024
we had a leap day in 2020. In case you're listening in the future, you couldn't have listened to the past. If you are listening to the past, we're about to have a leap day, and I don't know how you got a hold of this episode, but I don't know how time and space works. I don't care. But you mentioned you posted something about Leap Day Williams on
from 30 Rock?
On 30 Rock. So I went down a 30 Rock rabbit hole, and one of my favorite things I came across is in like season 3 when they have the werewolf bar mitzvah, which is like one of my werewolf bar mitzvah, spooky, scary, boys becoming men becoming wolves. And like that's the whole thing, like in a Thriller style, like fucking dance. And they bring that back like 4 times through the whole season. I totally forgot.
They kept bringing it back.
Like they bring it back where like at one point Kenneth is throwing his, like they're trying to get like everybody to Kenneth's party. And they're showing like, oh, Kenneth's party is so lame, like it's only Liz Lemon like who shows up and Kenneth, and like, and at one point they're like, hey, let's have a dance like contest, and it's just like them like dancing to all these songs, and the last song they're dancing to is like the exact moment. Like it's so like it's such a fucking smart show. But so I had Werewolves on the brain to start, and that song has been stuck in my head for fucking 3 weeks now since I've been watching it. So
Halloween episode of a show that no one saw but me and my wife, because we loved this show, but it got canceled after season 2. Mr. Mayor with Ted Danson.
Yes, right. I watched the whole first season.
The season 2 episode where Bobby Moynihan hosts a Halloween party at his house.
I haven't seen it. No.
Fucking comedic genius.
Is that like a Peacock thing, probably, or something?
Peacock. Yeah, okay, it's on Peacock.
Cool.
Now.
I've got Peacock for
just
1 month.
Don't go and watch the rest of the season 2. Although it is funny, that show should never have been canceled. Just go straight to the Halloween episode where Bobby Moynihan hosts a Halloween party.
Cool, because I watched the first season. I liked it.
It is. It made me
was a lot of fun.
Cry. I remember it to this day. Like I was literally sitting on my couch,
I'll check it out.
Tears down my face. It was so good.
I will definitely check that.
And all it reminded me of when I was watching, I was like, "This is a mashup of Parks and Rec and 30 Rock." It's like a perfect meeting of the two.
I love the Leap Day William episode of 30 Rock. I'm so glad you brought that one up when on the Slack channel, because like I hadn't thought about it.
Every leap year, I have a Leap Day Williams Facebook account I could log into right now where I have him as my profile picture.
Dude, I just totally forgot like how great it is, and they also called they called like the fact that it was like season 6, so clearly there had been a Leap Day through earlier, while they were there, but they didn't do an episode about it. So like they were like, "Hey, where were you the last time we had this?" And she was like, "I was on a Michael's Craft cruise or something like that."
Yeah, they came up with a lame excuse.
Exactly. Like the reason why they didn't do an episode 4 years ago.
They had to address it.
Yeah, because like clearly it was such a big thing, and you definitely did an
why
episode
did you
during
ignore
it.
it?
Yeah, like I was on a Michael's Craft cruise. So anyway, if anybody hasn't seen the like now 20-year-old, like 15-year-old fucking series 30 Rock, it's a great watch. It's seriously some of the best comedy.
There's a whole bunch of watches for you listeners out there. The Bobby Moynihan Halloween episode of Mr. Mayor,
or just watch any of them. That's great. But start with that. That's good.
The Wolf Like Me on I think Max.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
I want to say it's on Max.
Yeah. Okay.
And we also mentioned the Sam Richardson werewolf.
Oh, yeah, Werewolves Within,
and we also mentioned,
I think it's on Shudder right now.
And we also mentioned the Marvel show Werewolf by Night.
That's right, Werewolf by Night on
That's
Disney
a lot of
Plus.
good werewolf content, honestly.
Honestly, it's pretty good. So I think we're ready to move on from werewolves. That was a lot of great werewolf content. I'm really happy.
I'm so happy. I was just like, Werehouse, where?
Dude, I just saw the bullet point, and I'm so actually really glad that my brain went in a different direction.
Yeah, yours went totally different than mine.
I was like, oh, we could be.
I'm just thinking of a guy turning into like a transformer, but painfully and bloodily. He's God!
And then like storage units popping.
Broken windows are coming out his back.
Oh God, not again!
I want to see that done in CG where some dude turns.
You mean like
the warehouse?
Like
windows come out of his arms and like storm shutters. And
so one of the things about werewolf movies that anybody who's really into them knows.
Painful evolution.
One of the things that sets any werewolf movie apart is the transformation sequences. Everything
they got to be good.
They got to be really good. American Werewolf in London, one of the best ones ever. Even In the Company of Wolves, which is a classic one in the 80s. One of my favorite werewolf movies ever. It's a Red Riding Hood movie, really.
Wolf Like Me, good transitions, practical effects.
Yep. Yeah, so
practical effects.
So the key is you have to have a really good werewolf transformation.
Effects.
So a good Werehouse practical. I
Oh
can't
God,
wait to
I don't even
see.
know how you could do that.
I just like the face like turning into a square and just be like, oh God!
His eyes just become windows.
yeah. There's like a tongue hanging out of like a storage unit, like a garage door, like one of those fucking like.
I also want the Werehouse to have random tufts of fur.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, we're still bringing a little wolf
fun of it.
It's the Ig Nobel Prize, a ceremony for weird stuff.
I don't know. I don't give a fuck. I'm an anarchist. We'll graffiti the shit out of all of it.
And then he's got
what about that one? It's furry.
and that's his ass. It turns like he gets up in the morning like, oh God, what did I do? This
black
fucking big graffiti on his ass. This is about black holes. I love it. I'm very happy about Werehouse there. Thank you very much. You were right. It took about half the show.
You can also have a German remake of it where we tell we don't plan things because it's awkward.
We like to make it.
This shit isn't scripted, ladies and gentlemen. This is
believe it or not, this magic you're hearing was not scripted by us.
That's why we should never be worried about having too few stories.
This is the Ig Nobel Prize. I'll just give a little thing here. Ig Nobel Prize has nothing to do with the Nobel Prize. It's a joke prize. It's given out to the actual scientific community. Or by the scientific community for advances, quote unquote, in science that sometimes are more funny than they are helpful, but also some of them are also very helpful. But it's funny first, and this one it's purely funny. This is one of those ironic ones where it was given to crazy religious people, crazy Christians, like the right-wing crazy people who used to be on the fringe, who wouldn't be, these people would probably be running the fucking Republican Party right now. But Jack Van Impe, I'm going to call him Van Impe. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. Jack Van Impe, who died in 2020. No, it was January 2020 when he died. I guess I was going to say, I wonder if he was like an anti-vaxxer. No, that was before, like, COVID.
There were anti-vaxxers back then.
No, like there were anti-vaxxers, but like
not bad now. Like measles outbreaks in 5 states.
Yes, yes. Oh yeah, no, but like in other words, like COVID hadn't made it here so widespread yet to where I would assume that would be the reason.
Correct.
So this was January 2019, and really it was until like March, April where we started getting huge numbers in the United States. Anyway, the reason this guy won the Ig Nobel Prize was. So it was actually presented to Jack Van Impe and his wife, Rexella. That's a fucking cool name.
Rexella
Van
Impe.
Rexella Van Impe? I didn't even notice. Anyway, her name, because she's like barely mentioned because it's a fucking right-wing Christian conservative outlet, which means she's just there to serve her husband. So of Jack Van Impe Ministries of Rochester Hills, Michigan, for the discovery that black holes fulfill all of the technical requirements for the location of hell. So, what happens? They discovered the link between black holes and hell. And Jack Van Impe died in 2020. But anyway, so
may he forever be remembered in the black holes that we see in the sky.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like this guy is like he's a conservative, like crazy far right Christian leader.
Yeah,
from
so
the
he's
80s.
in hell.
He's in a black hole right now. But yeah, so. There was a quote unquote breakthrough contributions to astrophysics. The person who accepted the award for them, who was not them, they declined to comment or attend, remarked that to astrophysicists, black holes go beyond our widest expectation, fantasies, and dreams, and black holes, for scientists, are heaven. Of course, I'm sure, like people, like when they hear this. On the right, or rather on the religious right, probably hear that and be like, oh, of course, black holes are hell. Scientists think they're heaven. Therefore, scientists are demons, blah, blah, blah. But Jack Van Impe conducted a long series of scientific and technical research projects. And there's actually... I tried to look for a clip from the... it was March 31st, 2001... At the 12-minute mark, if you can find it somewhere, I couldn't find it. I spent way too much time today trying to find this on archive.org, on YouTube, everything like that. Couldn't find it. That being said, I did find some pretty awesome clips of the Jack Van Impe Industries, or Ministries, talking about the end of the world and stuff. In fact, I think maybe we'll go out on some of that tonight.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go out.
That's what you have planned.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll put a little dance beat behind it and just randomly put some of that random shit on there. You might hear that for a fucking hour. I don't know.
You know, can I just say real quick?
You absolutely can.
I have have had Event Horizon in my HBO Max queue because
one of the best fucking movies.
I haven't seen it since the 90s.
Really? I watch that one probably once every 5 years.
Okay.
Guess
so
what?
all I'm thinking of right here is
holds the fuck up every time I see it.
Good to know, 'cause it's in my queue. I wanted to watch it too.
It's got that Clive Barkian scene of hell, which is fucking where they're peeling their eyes out and holding it out to the fucking camera and the grainy footage. Fucking holds up. And there was the lost director's cut that was never released. That like all the footage has been like deleted and shit like that.
My thought here is Event Horizon 2. You use this.
Yes.
You do a direct sequel.
It is literally hell. It's the movie Event Horizon.
You do I forget who survives and who doesn't, but you just do another thing in that universe using a black hole.
I actually didn't even think about the fact that you're pretty much what you're pointing out. Like this came out in 2001. Event Horizon came out in the late 90s, 97.
Oh, so this might be a response to Event Horizon.
No, I'm actually wondering, like, did they just rip off Event Horizon?
Yeah, they just watched Event Horizon.
I'm pretty sure Event Horizon is like, oh, we passed through
in the
like
same
a black
night
hole
they watched
and we
Event
went to hell.
and they watched a like documentary on black holes and just put A and B.
Oh yeah,
together.
yeah. And they're like, hey, listen, we gotta square the circle because that was like around the time it was a little later than it was, obviously the Stephen Hawking book came out way earlier, but like people were talking about this kind of stuff. Like there was like the proof of black holes, which wasn't too long before this, and all that.
Did
kind of stuff.
anyone live at the Event Horizon ending? Like, did anyone survive?
So here's the thing. So I watched it about once every 5 years.
Yeah, you've seen it more
probably
recently.
haven't seen it. I haven't seen it since before COVID. So
you
I'm due for a rewatch.
You don't remember if anyone lives at the end?
I don't think anybody does.
You know what? You don't need anyone to live. You just
I think
need
the whole point of it, nobody does.
You need the people who sent them out to send out another mission and to correct their mistakes. Don't go where they went last time. But this time they sent them to a black hole, which fucking A, portal to hell.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like it meets the same thing. Like, God damn it. We're not even religious. We're scientists.
Yeah.
And every time we send a manned space flight into space to do science, number one, they all get possessed and die.
And they fucking
number
take
two,
their eyeballs
they go
out.
straight to hell.
Dude, so this is another recommendation for anybody out there who has not seen, like, it's I won't say it's a lost horror movie because like
I've been dipping
people
and diving
in the horror,
into old movies I haven't seen in a while.
People in the horror sphere definitely know Event Horizon, but those
that's on
of
my
you
list.
Who might be more on like the Gen Z or even like late Gen Y may not have like that one.
We're talking to you, Gen Alpha.
Yeah,
fucking hike those diapers up. Time for some Event Horizon
time
before
for
bed.
We're gonna fucking we're gonna get you in here. But yeah, so Event Horizon is absolutely like it still holds up to this day as one of the best. Like it's like they made it as The Shining in space. They're like, hey, what's even more isolated than a horror? Like literally that was the plan. Like we're gonna make The Shining in space because
it's more horror in space than Alien.
Yes, no, exactly, no.
And Alien is more horror than sci-fi in my book.
Yes,
Aliens is more sci-fi than horror.
Well, yeah, it's action. Yeah, it's straight
action
up.
Sci-fi.
But in Alien, the first one is like suspense. It's more Hitchcockian.
It's more horror in space.
Yeah. But whereas like Event Horizon is straight up supernatural horror. Like it is a haunted house movie on a spaceship.
Hard. It's hard to make horror and sci-fi collude and make good content because I've seen a lot of attempts. They almost entirely suck.
But it's very similar to the werewolf thing. Like when it's, I crave it so much because when it's done well, I can't like.
Event Horizon and Jason X come to mind as two good horrors in space.
Well, Jason X is being like a complete opposite side of that.
It's a so bad slasher in space.
So bad,
it's bad.
Whereas Event Horizon is legitimately
Critters.
as good. Yeah,
Critters, good sci-fi horror,
but also probably in the Jason X realm. Whereas Event Horizon,
all Critters, even the Easter Bunny one.
I would say all Critters are like Chucky movies, essentially.
Sure, they're B horror, but they're high echelon.
Event Horizon is like The Shining is The Shining in space. Like it is legitimately top tier horror movie. Yeah. Like it is like there's nothing jokey about it. There's nothing campy about it. Those other movies are amazing because of the campiness. Another one I haven't watched it yet. And I hope that I can watch it too and give you guys a good review on it. But like, there's a movie called Monolith that has come out, which is a sci-fi horror movie.
I'm familiar with it. Yep.
Takes place apparently it's one woman like in a room like listening to shit, and it's supposed to be fucking amazing. It's like it's got like a 7 on IMDb for a horror movie. That's pretty unheard of. And it doesn't always mean good, but like
Annihilation.
Yes.
Another sci-fi horror.
Yes. Yeah. Which is again like it's. Because I do consider that sci-fi horror. Alex Garland is very much
that's sci-fi horror.
And whereas but the bear
that
alone,
talks.
the bear alone,
the talking
the bear, the screaming bear. Come on, So yeah. Anyway, so the Ig Nobel Prize goes to Jack Van Imp and Rick Zella. We're gonna go out on some of the audio from one of their fucking crazier things from I can't remember. It was. I might go out on the year 2000 AD one, or I might go out on a different apocalypse one that happened later. We'll figure it out. You guys will hear something. It'll be great. I'm going to actually add that to the notes while you start up web droppings, my sir.
All right.
Web droppings is the place to be. Yeah. If you want to eat Italian food, eat at web droppings. Yeah. Pepperoni on pasta. Have you ever thought about how good that would be? No? Well, try it out at webdroppings.com. Don't go to webdroppings.com. It doesn't actually exist.
All right. So I'm going to start the first web dropping story without reading the title. I don't want to. I am purposely burying the lead. A man was hospitalized with worsening migraines only to find out they were caused by tapeworm larvae.
Whoopsie.
In his brain. This gentleman, a 52-year-old American man, had talked to doctors because he had migraines for 4 months. The migraines became more frequent, severe, and unresponsive to medication. The patient was admitted to the hospital for testing. CT scans revealed numerous cystic foci, which are fluid-filled sacs in the brain. Basically,
doesn't sound good.
Cysts all over his brain.
Yeah,
that's why he's having headaches.
Yeah, that would do it. That'll do it. Now, what would cause this kind of thing?
Well, they basically did a whole bunch of tests on him, and they figured out that he had tapeworms. Now, tapeworms live in your gut, and they eat off of what you eat, and they can cause things like rapid weight loss, a whole bunch of like.
Oh yeah, there's a tapeworm diet. Actually, oh wait, shoot, what was it? It was that a Creep Show episode or something like that had that? It wasn't Black Mirror, but it felt very Black Mirror. Yeah, I think it was a Creep Show episode that had a whole thing about like a new diet where people like legitimately had like an alien symbiote live inside of them that like took care of them.
It was Creep Show.
And then like a year later,
was it the one called The Gray?
I can't. It may have like.
It was the one based on the Stephen King book. The Gray stuff was about just stuff. It was literally.
Yeah, no. This was like the TV show Creep Show, like literally like a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So like they. So at some point it felt very Black Mirror, but it wasn't a Black Mirror episode. I'll have to take a look, but like it was definitely it was surrounding that. Yeah. And it was.
Sorry, I had to sneeze there.
And so it's very similar to that, where like you could like take for dietary purposes, a tapeworm can be really good for you. Like some women are just like, oh, I wish I could have. I say women, I guess men maybe too, but
sure.
Our society's like you got to be skinny, and women are like, if I could just have a tapeworm, I could eat whatever I want. I wouldn't have to fucking puke my teeth out.
Yeah, so they figured out this guy had one of those said tapeworms, and they were like, well, that doesn't really make sense. Why he has cysts in his brain and he has tapeworms. What they figured out, and this is very, very, very rare, is that... Actually, I'm going to back this up 1 second.
Sure, sure.
I didn't address why he had tapeworms, and this is kind of a funny part of the story.
I thought you were maybe burying the lead. I thought,
No, there's no reason to overgloss the fact that why does he have tapeworms to begin with? Let's worry about the cysts later, ready? The head cysts, brain cysts, let's worry about it later.
Just the tapeworms caused it. How did he get tapeworms to begin with?
He... had a battery of tests. They asked him every question on Earth, like, have you visited any other countries?
Dr. House style. This is you eat a blueberry in Africa.
Have you visited Africa? Have you eaten this? Have you done this? And everything was coming up no. And then all of a sudden he decided to just offer up, well, when I cook bacon, when I cook bacon, I really like it when it's on the soft side. I basically just do it rare to medium rare.
You can't do that with bacon.
Yeah, he likes soft bacon.
Now, I get it. Maybe
likes
not liking it
bacon.
crispy. I get it, but like
soft,
it needs to be
soft.
He's like essentially like black and blue bacon.
Yeah, black and blue bacon.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh shit. Okay, that's how you get tapeworms. Number one, boom. We housed this one. We doctor housed why you have tapeworms. Boom. Good. Now that must be connected to your brain thing because that's the only thing we can find wrong with you.
Yes.
But they're like, how do tapeworms get to the brain? There's one way they can do that. It is when someone poops and somehow the fecal matter, while a tapeworm is in you, the fecal matter contains the eggs of the tapeworm. Somehow has to be re-ingested from your asshole.
Which, by the way, is
so at some point, if he was wiping or something and got shit on his hands and then like chewed his nails or something. So he transferred shitty tapeworm eggs from his asshole
Yes.
to his mouth hole.
And
from
those
his,
things,
from his back
by the
hole
way,
to
those
his
things
front
are
hole.
those things are microscopic. So like, and
biting his fingernails after wiping him properly.
We've covered. I guarantee we've covered this on the show. And actually, I'm curious what the numbers are after people started washing their hands properly with COVID, which now nobody's doing anymore. Like everybody's like, I don't have to sing Happy Birthday anymore. But like. We covered this on the podcast I think before. If not, we've at least referenced it. Is that like 85% of all like if you like bar peanuts or whatever contain fecal matter because like you have to wash your hands really thoroughly to get rid of every single scrap of that. So like you don't have to like. You'd be like, listen, he could have done all his due diligence, gone to the bathroom, washed his hands, but just did one of those quick little splasharoos and then just come back out.
Yep.
And those fucking little microscopic tapeworm eggs are on his fingernails, or not even on the fingernails. He just reaches into his fucking popcorn chicken and like eats a little bit, and then there's tapeworm eggs.
And it is extremely rare to transfer a tapeworm's eggs back into your system.
This was a perfect storm.
So doing this is called neurocytorososis.
Yeah, good job.
Closest I could come to it. It's hard to say.
Neurocystic. Yeah.
I was close enough.
No. Neither of us were okay. So this is a very long word.
It's extremely rare to take the tapeworm's eggs that you shit out and to then transfer them back into your mouth.
Yeah.
And what happens when you do that is they go to your brain.
Yeah, unless of course you're eating at one of those tapeworm caviar restaurants.
So lesson learned here: if you eat tapeworm eggs, they don't just go to your system and add more. They become tapeworm
cysts.
They become baby tapeworms in your brain. The cysts are larvae.
That's what I was going to ask. It's not just a result of them. It's them. It's them. It's the babies in your brain. They're like, this is the warm place to be.
So if you're an influencer going, I need to drop 50 pounds real quick. I'm going to eat these tapeworm eggs. They won't just make tapeworms in you. It's not how it works.
Yeah.
It's going to go to your brain.
Yeah, and luckily you're TikTok influencer. You have a fucking sub 40 IQ anyway, so it really won't make a difference. Sorry, TikTokers. I'm just joking. I know.
Yeah, we're both on TikTok side with Congress and all that.
Yeah, exactly. So. There's plenty of like I follow.
Biden's going to lose the election if he fucking passes that.
I follow so many influencers on YouTube and shit like that. My CoffeeZilla. Fucking I love my influencer.
Everyone's
folks.
favorite app, CoffeeZilla.
Yep. I love my. I don't know if you follow CoffeeZilla. He's a great.
I thought it was an app. I didn't know what it was.
No, he's an amazing influencer who exposes scams and stuff. He exposed the Logan Paul scam and pretty much got Logan Paul to actually. And Logan Paul put up an attack video on him, be like, "Fuck you, CoffeeZilla," and then like, "Oh shit, CoffeeZilla's fucking videos got more hits than I do." And then like immediately pulled it down, and then the next video was like, "CoffeeZilla, hey, you did it. You sorry, buddy." Like, so Logan Paul had this crazy crypto
I'll fight
scam.
you after Tyson.
Yeah. No, that's Jake Paul. Yeah.
Oh, I don't care. Those guys are all fucking...
Logan Paul is the actual famous Paul.
If I had 3 wishes, I don't know that I'd waste one on killing both of them, but I might. It might be a blanket kill.
Oh, if it could be a murder-suicide, could have them murder-suicide each other? It would be great.
It might be more of a blanket kill, like certain people of a certain type across the globe.
Yeah.
Let's just have them all just disappear.
Yeah. No,
Also, I want $1 million to live forever.
So Logan...
why would I say $1 million? That's like...
What are you talking? That's
like a poor person.
Dude, I'm going to have more than that in my fucking retirement account, like, by the time I retire. Like, I'm
that's
actually
like a poor person.
Yeah. Like, and
I want $1 billion to live
barely
forever,
be able
and I
to
want
live.
Logan Paul and Jake Paul to rape each other on camera, then commit murder-suicide.
I love also that you chose $1 million to live forever. Like, that's definitely going to give you all the money you need to live forever. Like, that's it. Oh, we're definitely working on $80s.
Actually, my third wish wouldn't be... It would be money, longevity, and then the third one would be something where I could carry out all the nefarious stuff I want to do, but more universal. Like, you don't wipe them all out in one thing. Like, maybe I can turn invisible. So then you could just go to Jake Paul's house and like boop him on the head with a hammer. He bleeds.
I just hope
out.
Mike Tyson kills him. I would love to see that.
Bites
I know it's not going to happen.
Like a bat.
I know it's not going to happen because they're working together to like bring this stuff to the boxing world or whatever like that. But like
all the Pauls need to just fucking die.
Like so Logan Paul was involved in a serious crypto scam back in the day and got exposed by CoffeeZilla and other people too, but like CoffeeZilla really blew the lid off, and then CoffeeZilla was on Joe Rogan and all these like people like to really blow it up.
Oh, the real news.
In other words, suddenly he was getting reach beyond what Logan Paul would get. Like, his normal 8 million views or whatever, which is great for a little guy like exposing scammers. But anyway, yeah, so I follow the certain influencers who actually have something to say. So I get it. I was just making a joke about influencers being pieces of shit who don't fucking have any. But somebody like Logan Paul or Jake Paul, yeah, they have sub 40 IQs. Those are the influencers I'm thinking of. The Let's Play guys or the or like, I don't know. I even show, even as much as I disagree with so much of what Mr. Beast does, I still at least have respect for him as as a smart dude. He's not a complete piece of shit. His everything he does is completely misplaced and misguided. But he's doing it for the right reasons. He just whatever. Maybe don't try to fix everything with money.
There you
go.
go.
Kind of the problem.
Pretty much.
Money kind of is
pretty
the reason.
Much.
The reason that you're trying to fix these things is the thing that you're taking part in. Anyway.
Yes. Well, moving on from the land of tapeworms, we're going to dive deep into the future and go to AI robots.
All right. I love AI.
AI robots are everywhere now.
I also hate AI.
In a few years, there's actually going to be robots doing stuff. We will probably see them within 10 years in public in Vermont.
Can I have a random aside? Because I was chatting with you earlier about this. I recently watched/listened to the movie Leprechaun 3 while I was working today. And there is
full of AI robots.
There is an AI sex robot who fucks a guy and electrocutes him.
For real.
In the movie, he gets electrocuted by this.
That's an older movie, too. It's like 15 years old.
Dude, that came out in the mid-90s, dude. It was like...
wow.
They were
That's almost a 30-year-old movie.
I think it's like 96 it came out.
So it's almost a 30-year-old movie.
So this guy thinks he's fucking...
That movie's older than my oldest kid.
This guy thinks he's fucking a robot. I mean, thinks he's fucking like a hooker or what, like a beautiful woman. And of course it is. Like, she's got big tits and all this kind of stuff. Classic Leprechaun movie. And then and suddenly... the leprechaun shows up and like, ooh, you're not fucking who you think you are. And for some reason, it's a robot. They don't explain why that robot's there. And then she just is holding on to him and she just electrocutes him. And then people come in and this dude electrocuted and there's this leprechaun just sitting there and somebody's like, oh fuck, what happened here? And I'm just like, oh my God. Leprechaun 3, there's a reason why it's considered, it might be considered the best, if not the second best.
I own it. I got to rewatch it.
So, generally people are like, you can't beat the first Leprechaun movie, but if you do, Leprechaun 3 in Vegas is the one that beats all of them out. And honestly, I think we covered Leprechaun actually with our buddy Darren Ewing on Horror in the Court on this at one point, right? Yeah. And so we actually covered, and we were talking about 20-year-old Jennifer Aniston and that, and all that kind of stuff. Great movie, but when they started realizing what they had in their hands and how fucking ridiculous it is, by Leprechaun 3. It's off the rails.
That was before he went into the hood or space.
Dude, there's exactly. It's right before space, 2 before hood. Exactly.
I'm glad he came back from space to make his way to the hood.
Dude, it's great. Like, there's a point. So they're in Vegas and they go into this. It's just straight comedy because they at one point it's a background comedy bit. I love it when people are willing to put this kind of effort into things. They go into this. She's coming into the hospital to check out the lead protagonist woman is coming in to check on the lead protagonist male who's just been transformed into a leprechaun essentially into a hospital. And as she's walking through the lobby, there's just a quick thing of a dude playing slots in the lobby
of the
hospital to get healthcare. If it's 3 crosses, he gets to go. It's a quick walk by. It's the funniest bit in the whole movie.
That's amazing.
It's a quick walk by, and she's walking by. I'm they put so much work into that. I fucking love that movie. It's amazing. Leprechaun 3, another one.
Yeah,
and granted, you're gonna listen to this after St. Patrick's Day, but we're recording the St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Oh,
so
I remember our first St. Patrick's episode.
Oh my God!
Fucking 14 years
I mean,
ago
quote,
or so
unquote,
at this point.
Quote unquote, remember? That was
10 years ago at this point.
That was the drunkest episode we've ever done, yeah, for sure. And we did it on St. Patrick's.
That was me doing my Irish accent where I'm like, "Arr, Shormbagora."
Oh, Shormbagora. Arr. Yeah, it's are you I might have to, if we need some filler material at some point, we might just put that one out.
Yeah.
I could literally.
And we went to St. Patty's Day at the local bar that I worked at.
Oh yes,
and then
exactly.
went to your house and recorded that on your couch. We didn't even. We didn't have
on the
seats.
couch with the shitty microphones,
With drinks.
like early, yes, with like. Oh my god! And it was the sloppiest episode
it was
we've ever recorded.
drunk
It was
as
probably like
fuck.
episode 4 or something. It was
easily
really
2,
early.
3, 4, 5. It was in
Yeah.
that range.
So yeah, it was. Yeah.
All right. So
anyway,
out of Saudi Arabia, they decided to release.
Sex robots. Yes.
And by the way, not sex robots. They have a male and a female robot in Saudi Arabia.
If it's a robot, it can be a sex robot. You can make any robot a sex robot. You just gotta fuck it. If you fuck it, it's a sex robot.
We're getting there.
Okay.
They decided to bring out the male one for this little presentation where a female reporter was simply saying, like, this is Saudi Arabia's new robot. Look at it. Isn't it amazing? And it looks humanoid. It's not like metal.
Yeah,
it has
yeah,
like the fake skin over it.
Yep.
And while she's literally reporting on air,
Like
it
Uncanny Valley kind of shit. Yeah,
like that bad Uncanny Valley.
Yeah.
Well, she's reporting on air. It's behind her, standing, so it's in frame on the camera, and its arm just comes up and grabs her ass.
Yeah. Oh, it was definitely trained on male data.
They said it's been trained on data sets, and they don't know why it did that. And I'm just like, well,
What are you talking about? What are you training it on? The entirety of male patriarchy? Like, yeah, you don't think like, oh, we just trained it on Mad Men episodes. Like, come on, man. Clearly you're just going to be a groping robot. A gropebot, if you will.
That's the entire story of the moment. What I like is the internet reaction to this after. People online started calling it pervert robot.
Yeah.
Which I love.
So, the funny thing is at first I was like,
and coded to be a creep.
Yeah. I like, so at first I was like, good for Saudi Arabia for like, making it a male robot instead of a female robot. Like, oh no, that's actually by design because they are like an insanely misogynistic, culture for the most part. Like, so I was like, they're instead of making like a female robot, because most of the time
there is a female robot too, but I'm sure like Saudi Arabia, like
they probably weren't allowed on stage.
Are you really gonna share off a robot covered in a burqa?
Yeah, it's not
like that's a robot.
Yet.
That's just a woman wearing a burqa. Like you guys clearly haven't invented robot women yet. You just only did robot men. It's just a woman just standing there like every once in a while she like scratches her shoulders
and then gets shot and gets immediately dragged off and replaced with another burqa robot. Burqa-bot, yeah.
Yeah, they said that it was reprogrammed this way, and they instantly, the Saudi Arabians, blamed the reporter for standing in the wrong spot, citing that at an earlier part, when they were looking at the robot, it just lifted its hand at one point and then put it down, and they were like, it just does that. And you just stood in front of it, so it grabbed your ass.
Right.
It clearly grabbed your ass.
This is an
AI robot.
I love the fact that we've just extended victim blaming to like, if you get fucking raped by a robot, it's still your fault. You shouldn't address that way. We trained it on fucking like all these rape models. Classic.
To be fair though, the way it is skinned to look like that Uncanny Valley fake skin, I was like, Saudi Arabia didn't invent a robot. They just put a skin suit over a normal dude and told him to stand there, and he just couldn't help himself. He's like,
that's a good ass.
Daddy likes.
You know what? They'll blame it on the robot or her later anyway. Yep. Either way, I'm good. And like, yeah, you know what? And then they shot her.
That's all I can think of is he had like a bad Mission Impossible face. You know what I mean? Like a dollar store version of a Mission Impossible face. And
I think
he just standing there the whole time being stiff and strong, and he's like, I can't take it. I can't.
I think about one of both of our favorite shows, and probably the best show on Netflix is I Think You Should Leave. There's an episode with Tim Robinson where he gets plastered up in this like outfit, and he's like in a mall. He's like, "There's too much fucking shit on me. I can't fucking do it. I can't fucking do it.
I don't want to do this anymore."
Yeah, but like as they're showing him in the makeup chair, like, "Oh man, nobody'll ever come up to this guy." Like he's like, like giving rock and roll fingers, and then he's finally there. He's like, "It's fucking hot in here. I can't fucking breathe."
Yeah. That was brilliant.
Yeah, dude. Oh, everything Tim Robinson's ever done.
But yeah, this robot may or may not exist. It might be a pervert in a skin suit.
Yeah, you know what? Either way, it exists for the sake of this. That woman reporter is spending her life in prison now. So because she had the audacity to get groped by a fucking robot. Anyway,
all right. I have one last story.
Yeah,
and it's a short one, so I'm just gonna read it, and then we can comment after.
I actually have a related Python. It's oddly enough, I came across a related Python story.
Okay.
I mean, by the meaning, it's like it has something to do with pythons. So this is, by the way, Bear in the Lead has to do with pythons. 2
men plan to have large python eat woman's daughter before blowing up her house.
insult to injury. You can't just blow up the house. You're like, no, I want the fucking python to eat the girl first, and then we blow up your motherfucking house.
This is a short story. It's only long when I read what they got charged with at the end. That's going to take a moment.
Yep.
All right. So, Bryan County, Georgia. 2 Georgian men are accused of setting off a bomb at a woman's home and plotting to release a python to eat her daughter. Authorities say 34-year-old Caleb Kinsley and 37-year-old Stephen Glosser conspired to harass, intimidate, injure, or kill the woman who owned the house. Glosser and the victim allegedly met on a dating app, but their relationship eventually went south, so they decided to block each other.
Wow.
Seems pretty amicable. Like,
Yeah.
they both were like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm out.
Yep.
That's when Kinsley got involved, the friend. The men allegedly plotted to shoot arrows into the victim's front door, mail her dog feces, not her dog. It's
Wait,
they
so
didn't want to mail
mailing-
feces to her dog. They wanted to mail her
Dog's feces. Okay. So mailed her.
Yeah, we're gonna
feces.
fuck with this chick. We're gonna let her all the packages to Spot.
So, yeah, Spot. Yeah. Take this.
Spot, you
Yeah.
got another Chewy.
This is a weird one. It smells bad, but the fucking dog loves it. It's
And
like
then-
he's like this.
Oh,
is the
yeah,
best.
sniffing,
Yeah.
eating
Yeah.
it.
Brought to you by Farmer's Dog.
Yeah. Also, they wanted to release a large python to eat her daughter. What they actually did was they found the victim's home, built an explosive device along with Kinsey, the 2 guys. They used tannerite. Tannerite is a brand of firearm target designed to explode when struck by a bullet. So basically, you'd stick this on something, and when you shoot it, it goes boom. It's like a little C4.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Okay.
I know that I know that kind of thing from like video games, but like you would do that.
So essentially, they built a bomb using a tannerite charge on it, and then they shot it from a distance, which
and then it
blew
would
up
blow
her
it
entire
up.
house.
Right. Yeah, which you gotta a good scope on that. For
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
But yeah.
Witnesses told investigators they saw a black SUV leaving the scene and found out it was his car. They have then arrested him, and the charges are unlawful possession of an explosive, first-degree arson, stalking, use of an explosive to commit another felony offense, conspiracy to use an explosive to commit a felony, possession of an unregistered destructive device.
Yeah. In a bunch of envelopes.
You know, all
like-
those registered destructive devices we're allowed to have. Is that C4 registered? Oh, yeah, I got my card right here.
Yeah. That's right. Open carry.
Open carry C4.
Open C4 carry. Yeah, dude. Actually, did
Just
you
have a C4 in your belt. Like,
Just-
is that? Are you registered to have open carry?
off on a tangent? Did you see that Kyle Rittenhouse has like he's shilling body armor for a company now? It's called the Rittenhouse Bundle, and he's just like sitting there with his little fucking greasy lips, going like, "Oh, if you want like the fucking ceramic armor, get shipped 3 times." Like, dude, yeah, there's a Rittenhouse Bundle from a fucking company. They're fucking.
We live in the darkest timeline.
And of course, it's just being showed on all these like right wing broadcasting networks and stuff like that.
I'm Kyle Rittenhouse, and this is some armor that I wish I had when I wasn't shot at.
Yeah. When I was shooting people, I'm glad
They could have used this.
I'm glad they didn't have this one because I got to shoot that person, and I got lucky that they happened to have maybe talked to a 14-year-old once, and I got left. Not just like you guys lionize me. That's right. Lionizing means you guys turned me into a saint.
I'm Kyle Rittenhouse, and this armor's sharp. Let me pick it up and show it to you. Ow! 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 It's very sharp armor. It's made to be offensive and defense. Ow!
Ow! I'm so soft, and my lips are milky. He's got milky lips. I don't even know what that means. It just seems like something he has. He has milky lips.
He's got a milky front hole.
He's milky. He's milky all around. Rittenhouse is a fucking piece.
I
of
bet
shit,
you
man.
anything his back hole is milky too.
Oh, he's a milky man. Can I offer my side story to this?
It's gonna end the show.
So
You know, this
Something-
is what we're going out of. This is what people will
Yes.
remember. If
So-
if we never have another episode again, this is
is
what
it?
people will remember.
all right.
us
Well, you know
for.
what? I'm stopping on Rittenhouse's milky lips. No, I'm not. I'm gonna double down on this one. So it turns out. So I was just looking through stories, and a Python story came up. I'm like, oh, this is probably the one you brought to the table. No, it's not. Turns out, if you want a more sustainable meat, try a 13-foot python steak. It turns out
Nice.
a group of researchers studied 2 large python species over 12 months on farms in Thailand and Vietnam. They have python farms where snake meat is considered a delicacy, and found they were more efficient to raise than all other livestock. In other words, you have to feed them less. They like anytime somebody like, oh, I want to raise like beef or I want to raise like chickens or whatever, like the amount you like the ecological destruction that goes into just raising one cow is crazy. Like it turns out the most efficient thing as far as what they've studied, python, and it's a delicacy in a lot of countries and apparently is tasty. So start raising python farms.
I was thinking about how like
Also,
the
python
ecological
farms-
impact on like almond milk, how they tell you it's the
Yes.
worst thing you can buy.
It is, yeah.
Python milk.
Yeah. All right, everybody, get lost.
Get lost.
God help us to have life. Hundreds of churches follow Sardis's lead today. This is the reason millions are leaving liberal churches for good old-fashioned gospel-preaching lighthouses. Immediately, God called for a five-fold revival package. Verses 2 and 3, be watchful and strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die. For I have not found thy works perfect before God. Remember therefore how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee. Sardis was admonished to 1, be watchful or alone. Romans 13:11. 2, strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die. Her people were to do everything possible to salvage the little good that still remained in their bastion of dead orthodoxy. 3, remember therefore how thou hast received and heard. The Sardis Christians were commanded to recall the former days, the early days of their salvation when they were filled with purity and zeal.